She seems distant and disengaged, and you're left wondering why. We're about to delve into the under-the-radar signs she's not in love anymore. Stay with us. This might be uncomfortable, but it's a journey you need to take. 1. Rather spend time with the girls than with you. You notice she's always with the gals, constantly craving their company and sort of dismissing you? Sure, it's great that she has her own crew to chill with, but when it gets to the point where she's in that circle more often than not, it might be cause for concern. A ladies' night out is fun, no question, but if it's becoming a regular pattern, coupled with some negative vibes coming your way when she's home, you might need to start connecting the dots. It's not about putting a leash on her social life, fellas. It's about noticing the signs. If you're becoming more of an afterthought and less of a partner in her life, that's a problem. See, it's like this. When she's with her crew, everything is glitzy and exciting, but when she's with you, it feels like you've morphed into some kind of grumpy, homebody villain in her life, and she's yearning for an escape, a freedom. From what exactly? It's not a good sign, let me tell you. It's a harsh reality, but if she's consistently avoiding you like this, it's likely she's not head over heels for you anymore. 2. New guy friends are staring to pop up. See, it's natural to enjoy a bit of attention from the opposite sex. It can be a self-esteem booster. But if she starts drifting away, spending more time chatting up her old pals and making new ones, that might be a hint of trouble. How many female friends would you pass up on if they wanted more than friendship, especially in times of emotional turmoil? Not many, I bet. The same goes for her. Despite her assurance that these guys are just like brothers, there might be some romantic sparks hidden there. No, I'm not suggesting you become an overbearing, green-eyed monster. What I'm saying is, be conscious. Her sudden burst of bromances might not just be for kicks. These new faces might not be random add-ons to her life. They could be auditioning for your spot. It's not always about physical betrayal. It can be an emotional disconnect, too. She might be seeking the affirmation and connection elsewhere that she's missing with you. Always remember, love is not only about kisses and hugs, but also about the emotional intimacy shared between two hearts. 3. Doesn't want to touch you or you to touch her. Let's not beat around the bush, guys. If the lady you're into isn't showing any signs of physical intimacy, there's a good chance she's not feeling that spark with you. Sure, she might just be going through something, but more often than not, it's a sign you might need to up your game. What's worse, when you're constantly seeking her attention, while she's keeping her distance, it creates this unappealing cat and mouse scenario where you're chasing and she's running. And guess what? You become less appealing to her with every passing moment. Think about it. You've become too predictable, too clingy. Sure, she still cracks up at your jokes, but when the lights go low, she's MIA. If she's treating you like another one of the boys and throwing her attention at other men, you're unfortunately on the wrong side of the love scoreboard. The aim of the game is to be desired, not to desperately desire. You gotta find that balance, fellas. It's about creating attraction, not chasing it. 4. She's bored. Ever noticed her zoning out during dinner or preferring a rerun of an old movie instead of going out with you? Maybe the daily catch-up conversations have dwindled to nothing? These could be signs she's losing interest in the relationship and, unfortunately, you. Remember, love is a mind game, guys. You've got to keep it interesting. Keep her guessing a little. Now, I'm not saying you should turn into some aloof mystery man overnight. Just sprinkle a bit of uncertainty into the mix. Believe it or not, we all love a bit of drama and unpredictability. So, sometimes dial back on the texts, give her some space, act a tad distant. It sounds counterintuitive, but the fear of loss can make the heart grow fonder. No one likes losing stuff, and when it comes to love, women are no different. The key is to balance this strategy with genuine affection and connection to keep her engaged and intrigued. 5. Just doesn't care. If one's experienced the aftermath of a toxic relationship, they know it's a battlefield. Endless arguments, harsh words, and breaking each other down, all stemming from unresolved inner battles. However, when love fades, there's a noticeable shift. The once lively conversations turn to one-word answers. Affectionate kisses become quick pecks, and eye contact becomes a rarity. Resentment may linger, but when respect is lost, love often follows suit. Navigating relationships can feel like an intricate maze, full of dead ends and confusing pathways. Imagine a situation where a man experiences a crushing blow when the woman he's seeing starts to withdraw after witnessing his bout of anxiety. He becomes desperate for her validation, and his self-esteem takes a hit. But let's not forget, the course of love is not always smooth. Relationships can be challenging, but also an opportunity for growth and self-improvement. It's about learning, adapting, and becoming a better version of oneself. 6. She suddenly turns independent. So, you've noticed that the woman in your life has started flexing her independence muscles a bit more than usual. And it's not just about standing her ground or discovering some empowering literature or media. There's something more to it. You see, when she's in love with you, she'll appreciate your support, even when she could do things on her own. But if she's grown cold, you might feel like you've been set adrift. Any advice from you suddenly becomes a point of contention, and every remark is taken negatively. You're not just on the sidelines, you're being shown the exit. It's a tough pill to swallow, but the evidence seems to suggest she's not just finding her inner strength. She's preparing to set sail without you. But remember, it's not about dwelling on the pain. It's about learning from the experience and moving forward. 7. She avoids discussions of your future together. There's a sudden change in her reactions, and it's hard not to notice. Earlier, talks of the future used to light her up like fireworks on the 4th of July, but now she merely shrugs it off. That enthusiastic sparkle is gone, replaced with a look of indifference. No more giggles over your weekend getaway plans, or any eagerness about the concert you've been planning to attend together. Mentioning any future plans doesn't spark excitement. Instead, it seems to ignite a desire in her to step back. That playful banter about your upcoming road trip is met with a sarcastic nod and an abrupt change of topic. The relationship feels like it's being dragged into a gloomy cave, and it's definitely not the fun kind. It's a tough realization to come to, but these are signs she's no longer invested in your feelings. 8. It's all her, all the time. There's a pitfall in relationships called egotism, and it can be a real shipwrecker. When your lady seems to be shouting "me first" all the time, it's easy to pass it off as just a rough week. But when that week turns into a month and that month into a season, it might be more than just a phase. Her focus has shifted solely to herself, and suddenly you find yourself out of the picture. It's no longer about who's right or wrong, nor about your feelings or opinions. The spotlight is only on her, and you might find yourself at the receiving end of all her pent-up frustration and negative emotions. That, gentlemen, is not love. It's a signal for you to reassess where you're at and maybe consider stepping away before you mistake this situation for love. Navigating the complex world of relationships isn't always easy, but it's all part of the journey. Stay true to yourself, remember to communicate, and most importantly, respect your partner's feelings as well as your own. Until next time, stay strong, stay confident, and always strive to be the best man you can be. If you like this video, then check out these related videos to see more, and make sure to subscribe and leave a like.